Server locks and ban hammers, the current state of Classic. What is this?
Hello ladies and gentlemen, WillE here. Today is a bit of a combination of two different subjects around the current state of affairs in Classic, and not all of this will apply to everybody of course, but I'm suspecting the majority will be affected directly or indirectly by both of today's topics. These are two things I've wanted to talk about for a little
Bro, how many thorium ores these guys kinda reach? What the hell?
while now, and have received plenty of messages about these subjects asking my thoughts and whether I'll be talking about them, so let's give it a go, shall we? Today's subjects are Blizzard's automated ban system, which is picking up a lot of legitimate players and banning them, and secondly the population on servers that are currently locked and or layered. The bans first. So remember about the same time that Blizzard did that initial ban wave of 74,000 suspected accounts, there was also the 30 instance cap introduced. It was around that time as well, and a little bit beforehand I believe, that more and more players started getting banned for trading large amounts of gold in game, be it between you and
I would just say finally, these gold traders, these gold farmers, they're just ruining the game for everyone. And imagine that you are, for example, a mage who is just farming hours and hours and hours, and you are legitimately putting so much effort into the game, and someone just comes, run a bot, and then basically in 24 hours he has the same thing without so much effort. I would just say finally, and the real players are gonna be rewarded.
an alt, trading stuff to a guildie to pass to your main, selling items in gold bid runs, and so on. More and more ban petitions started to appear on the subreddit as a result, and it certainly looked as though there was some kind of trigger in place that was hitting players with bans if you traded a large amount of gold, which in of itself is questionable. If anything such as an automated system has the power to issue bans, it better have some pretty solid evidence to back that claim up. Over time though, posts like this have started to become less and less seen and have been replaced with something else, and this new issue is really getting it wrong. So people are now getting banned for long instance farming sessions, selling or buying boosts, or getting close to the 30 instance cap. The people who are banned for trading large amounts of gold is a lot more difficult to prove innocence of, but it's still something that you should appeal as much as possible. But for people getting banned in instances, you have people like Alias, a fellow YouTuber and streamer who has done a lot of great work in helping players discover new ways to level and grind gold, as well as charitable work, and Zegas, who was also banned recently, another YouTuber and streamer who even...
Okay, then obviously they wanted to make something automated, so this issue is gonna be of Blizzard staple, like we have to understand it. But at the same time, you also have to understand that there are real players who are bot-like grinding for many hours, and I think that these players should be definitely protected. So I think that Blizzard will have to just try to figure it out, maybe update the ban system and apologize to these people that they actually hurt in the process.
Holds the world record for the fastest 1 to 60. Both of these bans were overturned of course, but if you have people in the public eye like this getting hit with bans, I think you can say there's a bit more work that needs to be done on the current automation system in place. In fact, our classic WoW subreddit is slowly turning into old school RuneScape's one, where big post with lots of upvotes seems to get very fast action indeed. You know what though? Look, I'm not trying to make light of clearly legitimate players getting banned here, appeal the bans as much as possible of course, but at least Blizzard is actually making continual efforts to tackle bots. If they just did...
There are gonna be definitely some casualties along the way, but still they can be just unbanned, and you can afterwards apologize to these people. So I think it's like necessary evil that has to be done, but obviously Blizzard should try to limit the casualties as much as possible.
Did that 74k ban a while back and called it a day until things were getting really bad again, this probably wouldn't have happened. But then just a couple of days ago, Blizzard communicates again saying a further 40,000 bots have been taken down over a 2-week period. I think the posts about gold trading triggering bans have been slowly on a downwards trend. It seems like whatever was causing that to happen has been largely resolved. Hopefully people getting banned for hitting up some boosting or instance grinding will be a thing of the past in a few weeks as well. And if you're somebody who regularly sells or even buys boosts though, I would start being a little bit more careful. Personally, if I were to buy a boost, I would only ever do it from somebody either I know or who is a member of a guild from your server with a good reputation. If I was selling boosts, the same would apply. I think you can circumvent a lot of potential real money trading players by doing this. In fact, I think this would be a pretty good habit to set in a game as a whole if boosts are going to be as popular as they clearly are. If you have been hit with an unfair ban in your opinion though, there's not too much I can say. Appeal it to the highest degree possible. Basically, any player that gets hit with an unfair ban will always appeal it. You can bet that Blizzard are hearing you, and me saying, hey, look at this is an issue, doesn't really add too much to that. Keep it.
From my personal experience, I remember when I purchased first time when I was purchasing WoW Classic subscription, and basically by mistake I purchased the NA one, but because I'm from the EU, I wanted to have a refund for the NA one, and I just bought another one for the EU. And to my surprise, actually, I got a response after literally 1 day. And don't forget that this was the start of the Classic, the fresh launch, and the support had to be overwhelmed massively with so many people requesting some assistance. So I think they are working their job. So support is doing what they are supposed to do and helping people.
Appealing, raise awareness, and I hope that you can come through if you're innocent. I know how much time and effort can go into a Blizzard account over the years, so getting hit with a ban like this could be truly devastating. But it does feel overall that there is starting to be some more effort from Blizzard to combat bots. So now, I know I have some hardcore Blizzard haters in the comments who have probably been playing the Blizzard games for over a decade, who would love it if I spent every video going on about how bad they are. That's not what we do here. I see something good, I praise it. I see something bad, I try and raise awareness and point it out. It's really that simple. And I've been saying bad for such a long time, it's really refreshing when I get to say good. I just hope that the auto-flagging players for running instances is dealt with sooner rather than later.
I think that we can all agree that Blizzard is really money oriented these days, and I think everything is proving that, especially with the retail WoW. But I think on the other side, we have to also understand that Blizzard is actually the company that made this game in the first place, and I can guarantee you that there is so many passionate employees who just put their heart and soul into these games, and they just want to make the best game possible, and then some like greedy motherfuckers will come and they just want to monetize everything, even though it might be hurting the game's integrity. So yeah,
it's definitely not on the good end of things. Let's take a little look at the usual sites and see what we can find here. First of all, off to everybody's favourite dungeon, Strat Living we go. So I'm having a look on 2 locked servers here, Gehennis and then Golemag, and wow, very little activity. That seems great.
Damn.
Let's have a look over to some unlocked servers now, and that's not so good. This first one is from Pyrewood Village, which is PvE, and I went and checked another server that is high population, Earthshaker, and it's pretty much the same story. I imagine it's quite similar for all unlocked servers, but I don't have any more characters on locked servers, so you'll have to let me know. So there's still bots. Not to try and say that this is...
They are not having any guild. Just guildless people, level 60s. Who is a level 60 and doesn't have a guild? You cannot do anything. You cannot be raiding Molten Core. You cannot be ruining premates. If you need, for example, some enchanting, you cannot be getting enchanting. You can be getting enchanting, but you need to find someone who is selling it on global, and the price is gonna be probably much higher, because if you just find someone in your guildie, you can purchase some enchanter from your guildie. From your guild, you can just purchase the materials from the auction house, and it's gonna be kind of cheaper.
Is okay, but yeah, there's more or less always going to be bots with how in demand gold is at the moment. What matters is, are they actually having an effect on the economy? The answer is, at the moment, no, not really. Well, I'll show you again, so let's go off to Nexus Hub and take a look. First of all, let's have a look at Righteous Orb medium prices across EU and NA.
Okay.
It looks good, to be honest, down since the first big ban wave, and they haven't fluctuated all the way back up to insane amounts either. One way or another, these orbs being farmed by bots aren't really getting to the marketplace. You probably saw a massive spike in price of orbs after the ban, and then they've come right back down again. More expensive than they were for sure, but they'll still be in demand in Classic forever, and it makes Strat a bit more interesting considering hitting up. How about those Diamond tribute bots though? Major mana pots first again? Looks like something's definitely kicking off in NA. Usually large price spikes like this are just a one-day thing here and there, nothing really to look into, but this is a big uptick over a few days. Moving over to major healing potions, this is the same deal here. Whilst EU has remained much more consistent,
You can see that the quantity of these items was reduced drastically on the auction house, but because right now the only people that are gonna be selling these items are the people that are legitimately actually farm these items. So obviously the price might be a little bit higher, but it's going to be actually your work. If you are a real player, your work is gonna be rewarded much more than previously, because if there are bots gonna be running around, they're just gonna be having so many mana pots, and then obviously your mana pot that you're gonna farm is gonna be much less valuable, and your work I mean farming is not gonna be so much efficient and so rewarding.
maybe this will just be a thing over a few days though. Go see if potion prices are down, to be honest. Might be a good time to buy. I had a little look at Black Lotus as well out of interest. I know there has definitely been some attempts to restart the heavy farming of them, like how
I heard that because of this bot and the lack of Black Lotuses, so many bots probably had like so many Black Lotuses in their bags that were missing in the economy, and that's why people actually had to be buying Titan Flask, which you are making from Black Lotus. Titan Flask for the tanks, that is so the Titan Flask is increasing your tank's HP, his health pool, by 1200 if I remember right. The prices were ridiculous because there were just not enough Black Lotuses on the market.
having low levels in stealth, eagle eye hunters and so on, but even still prices are way down on what they used to be. Before the changes they were up to 280 gold for me. Post, they're down to about 140 at the moment. The other materials needed to make flasks are up to compensate for sure, but not too considerably. I'd expect Lotus to continually go up from now onwards, by the way. Either way, what I'm seeing here, this is also good news. I mean, yeah, this looks solid overall. You know, if Blizzard could just stop banning people for playing the game, I think we're on a good course at present as per bot bans. Which brings me to subject number 2. This one will affect far less players for sure, but still a decent number, I'd imagine. Locked and layered servers. I'm on one of them, Gehenna's, and I also play on one without either restriction 2, Pirewood Village, and the difference is night and day. The lock and layer literally makes the game feel dead. Nobody new can join. No one's running dungeons anymore outside of boosts. No one is in the open world. World PvP is non-existent anymore. Capitals are empty. Look at this. This is Friday evening. I mean, come on. Ironforge.pro still shows a high population, at least for those raiding, but it's logging into a ghost town at the moment. This is what I'm seeing on one of the highest population servers in Europe at the moment. Now, if I'm honest, this point in time is a bit of a quiet period anyways, with a whole lot of raid logging going on while everyone waits for the new Phase 5 stuff to drop for sure. And
also, it's summer, so during summer there's gonna be not so many people as during other months. It's just statistically the statistics are proving my point. In summer, people are just enjoying, you know, free coronavirus outside. But yeah, it kind of sucks. No new people can actually join. Nobody's gonna be leveling. If you wanna be, for example, running Monastery Scarlet Citadel, you just can't because there is no one to run with you. I don't know. I think what would be a good solution in this case would be probably merging servers. Merging servers, and if the server is, for example, too big, then obviously they can be, this might be actually kind of complicated. I'm not sure what would be the best idea. I'm just giving you my opinion, but definitely if new players cannot be joining the server because it's locked, it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good in the long term. But I understand also on the Blizzard side that there might be some other issues.
And I think there's a lot less day-to-day activity on your PvP servers compared to PvE servers. Let me show you what a PvE server with neither restriction looks like in the two capitals a few minutes after I looked in Gehennas, and I'll admit the Alliance population on Pyrewood Village is much higher than Gehennas, and yes, this is quite anecdotal evidence, which I know isn't a thing that I should be doing, but I'm confident that other people on locked and layered servers, it looks like this for you as well, right? In fact, I had to go back and check, but layering coming back had been a thing since mid-April now, and initially was put back into the game following queues on all big servers. This was no doubt in reaction to happenings in the world at that point in time, causing many more people to have to stay at home. As for the server locks, these happened just after the Black Lotus changes, and I'm sure were in part to stop transfers with stacks and stacks of Lotus to high population servers to try and sell them off in the rush. And
also, that was the main reason why they locked the servers, goddamn. So the gold farmers couldn't actually sell the Black Lotus is on a server where demand is much higher.
Blizzard did try to remove layers from some large NA realms, Herod and Whitemane in May, but it turned out they needed to be turned back on within little time. So there's some good in layering and server lock. Locking means there are so few bots now on these servers, as we saw a little while ago. Prices for items have been stabilized so much more, and layers still prevent logging queues, but are we past the point now where these things are still needed? I can understand it's jarring to turn layers on and off from week to week, but Blizzard have just done 2 tests on 1 layer AQ openings, and they were okay-ish, about what's to be expected really. We'll have to see how it goes. It's still about 3 weeks to AQ after all as of this video. Now Blizzard has the data around all of these things, of course. I'd rather not have queues at peak times any longer, they're just annoying. But layers and locks seem like a little bit overkill at this point in time. Both of them should be removed ideally, right? But for the time being, I think the locks could be relaxed on pretty much every server that currently has them, and I've no doubt there's going to be a massive influx of bots whenever this should happen as well. Perhaps that's being prepared for. It would at least make sense for new players to be able to join a server at this point, in my opinion, instead of just blocking that as well as transfers, especially if we still have layering active. Anyways, if you're on a locked server, especially those in NA, which I don't get to see firsthand, let me know what your thoughts are. Keep fighting against the false bans. Hopefully it's a thing of the past in a few weeks. I'm also hopeful that some action is taken to remove server lock, and the botting situation does seem to have overall improved from the evidence that I can find. Well, at least they don't appear to be battering prices for certain items like they did previously. We aren't in a bad spot, I think. Let me know your thoughts on all of this, of course, how you're getting on, how your server's looking. I'd be interested to know. AQ soon? That's going to be pretty cool. As always, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one very soon. If you like.
Fellas, please follow WillE, and you can find the link to the original video in the description. Please click the link, subscribe to him, and leave a like on him, to his channel. Also, please leave a like, comment, and also subscribe to my channel as well. I really appreciate it. So AQ is coming soon. I think AQ is gonna be crazy. Finally some raid that is gonna be a little bit more difficult. Definitely, I can say from my personal experience that AQ, you will just need some coordination, and some bosses are kind of tough. Twin Emperors might be interesting. Oro might be a little bit tough, but definitely Khatoon is gonna be a little bit of challenge for most new players. I can definitely agree on that one. And I think that what the Blizzard also have to do with AQ40 is that they have to be putting the harder version of the raids, because nowadays we can see the pre-nerf Khatoon that everybody was claiming that it's impossible. I would love to see. I'm pretty sure that someone would beat him in the nowadays meta of world buffs and stuff like that, because in the past people were not so tryharding so much, so obviously, and they didn't have so much cooperation, they didn't have so good internet, and there has been so many factors. So I really hope that they will actually put a little bit more challenge into Classic, because Molten Core, Zul'Gurub, there is literally nothing. Blackwing Lair, so easy, so easy. We need AQ40 and Next Ramas to be a challenge, so the hardcore players can actually enjoy it. And I think Next Ramas is gonna be really literally a nightmare for so many guilds. It might be in certain scenarios, because I would say some specific bosses like Thaddeus, Hagan, dancing on Hagan, it's gonna be kinda tough. But still, I don't think it's Naxxramas isn't that complicated and that difficult as many raids afterwards. So I think that most hardcore people will definitely like complete it. But I still think that the difficulty should be a little bit higher on these servers, on these raids. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Please just subscribe, it really helps the algorithm, and I really appreciate it. See you in the next one. Bye.